Pokémon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were released in 2018 on the Nintendo Switch. These games are based off of Pokémon Yellow, which came out 20 years before them. Like Pokémon Yellow, the story is set in Kanto, all Pokémon do not have abilities, and you cannot hatch eggs or breed Pokémon. However, since these are remakes of the original games, there are many new mechanics added to them as well. The addition of new moves and battle variants create new strategies that differ from Generation 1 battle strategies. Additionally, catching mechanics are similar to Pokémon Go, a mobile AR Pokémon game that came out in 2016. While other people have attempted damageless runs of Pokémon games, I wanted to try this type of challenge in one of the only Pokémon games on the Nintendo Switch as of now. In this run, there are no checkpoints, so if my Pokémon take any damage, I must restart the entire game from scratch. So, without further ado, here's my run of Pokémon Let's Go Pikachu without ever taking damage. I started the game by naming myself Jirachis and my rival Damage. My character was shocked that he had hands and expressed that visible confusion to my newly named rival. I left my house, met Professor Oak, and got bombarded by a random Pikachu. Like Pokemon Go, the player must aim a Pokeball at their target and release it to capture a Pokemon. I threw one of the Pokeballs that the professor conveniently kept with him and caught my starter. I gave it a nickname, received a Pokedex, and set out on my journey. The first required battle is against our rival in Pallet Town. Fortunately, in this game, we are allowed to train up our Pokemon before the fight, since we start off with 50 Pokeballs. The main way we will be leveling up our Pokemon is through catching other Pokemon. When you catch a Pokemon in this game, experience is distributed among the Pokemon in your party. Like Pokemon Go, you can increase the amount of experience each caught Pokemon gives by throwing the ball with good technique, catching the Pokemon on the first throw, or making a nice, great, or excellent toss. The game also has a new mechanic to increase experience gain called catch combos. Repeatedly catching the same Pokemon in a row increases the experience that they give. The more Pokemon of the same species we catch, the faster we will level up. We can also speed up the process by utilizing 2-player mode to catch Pokemon. In this playstyle, we can throw 2 Pokeballs at a Pokemon at the same time, increasing the experience that the Pokemon gives. I decided to repeatedly catch Pidgeys on Route 1, over and over, until my Pikachu could take out my rival's Eevee in one shot with Double Kick, which it learns at level 9. I got Pikachu up to level 14, where I was confident it could get the job done, and it did, winning us the first battle. After easily beating youngster Ronnie's Rattata on Route 1, I moved through Viridian City and into Viridian Forest. I used Pidgey for the 2 required bug catcher fights, and Pikachu for the required Pidgey fight. From there, I reached Pewter City. After my rival gave me items to heal off the damage I won't be taking, I headed to the northwest area of the town to a woman with her Slowpoke. In exchange for watching the Slowpoke for a couple seconds, the woman gave me a Big Pearl, which I can sell for 4,000 Pokédollars. In this game, tasks like this one and hidden item locations reactivate daily, allowing me to farm up as much money as I need if I have the time. Throughout the run, I'll need to buy a lot of Pokeballs to grind up as much experience as possible, so I'll take all the money I can get. Since my catch combo of Pidgeys was still intact, I bought enough Pokeballs to level up my Pikachu to level 30 to take on Brock's Onix. I decided to use Pikachu instead of an Oddish to beat the gym for 2 reasons. 1, I didn't want to break my catch combo with Pidgey, as I was earning a lot of experience per Pidgey caught, and didn't think to catch an Oddish on Route 1 before starting the catch combo. And 2, while Oddish's Absorb could take out Onix at a much lower level than 30, it would get outsped by Onix, meaning I would still have to level it up past level 20 in order to attack first. Besides, I'll be using Pikachu for the rest of the run, so it doesn't hurt to over-level it a bit. In this game, each gym has a requirement that must be completed before battling it. For example, Brock requires trainers to have either a grass or water-type Pokemon in their lineup before challenging him. So, I ended up catching an Oddish anyway, along with a few other Pokemon to put in my party. He never required us to use them in battle. Now, there's one more strategy that I haven't revealed yet that we'll be using to our advantage in this run, and that is 2 versus 1 battles. If the support trainer in 2-player mode is activated on a 1-on-1 battle, it changes the battle format to a 2-on-1 battle. This allows our Pokemon to attack twice in one turn, which is pretty helpful and kind of overpowered. The only downside to this strategy is that it automatically changes the battle style from switch to set. This means that the game does not ask us if we would like to switch out our Pokemon to prepare for what the opponent is going to send out, so we must be wary of that. Nevertheless, we easily beat Brock's Geodude and Onix, allowing us to claim the first gym badge. After exiting the gym, a man who wanted to smell me in the future gave me some Great Balls. I made my way through Route 3, onto Route 4, and into Mount Moon. There, we met Jesse, James, and Meowth, who wanted to steal some dead Pokemon. We made our way through the area, battling trainers and Team Rocket grunts, and catching some new Pokemon. After defeating Super Nerd Miguel, we stole a deceased Pokemon for ourselves. We fought against Jesse and James over who had the rights to that Pokemon, even though it was probably the nerd who found them. This would be our first double battle of the run. Since we did so much grinding before the first gym, both Pikachu and Pidgeotto could take out Coughing and Ekans respectively in one hit, allowing us to win the battle and keep our fossil. I made sure I had everything I might need before going to Cerulean City, as we wouldn't be able to return to previous areas until we beat the Vermilion City gym. We got some new Pokemon on Route 4 and also in Cerulean City itself. We also taught Pikachu a very important new move called Zippy Zap. This is a 50 power electric type move with increased priority, allowing me to attack other Pokemon before they get the chance to attack me. Additionally, it always results in a critical hit, boosting its damage even more. With that new move in our arsenal, we took on the second gym. The requirement for this gym was having a Pokemon level 15 or above, which we had of course. The first trainer had a Goldeen with Quick Attack, so we outsped it with Pikachu's new move Zippy Zap and defeated it. I ended up battling all of the trainers in the gym for some easy extra experience and used the same strategy to beat them, as they also had priority moves. Finally, we were up to Gym Leader Misty. Our Psyduck went down to Pidgeot's Quick Attack, and our Starmie fainted from Pikachu's Zippy Zap. And with that, the second badge was ours. The next challenge ahead of us was Nugget Bridge. The first 3 trainers on the route were easy to beat, but the 4th trainer, Lasrelli, had a trick up her sleeve. She owned a Meowth that knew Fake Out. In this generation of Pokemon games, not all priority moves have equal priority. What this means is that a slower Pokemon with a higher priority move can go before a faster Pokemon with a lower priority move. So, even though Quick Attack with +1 priority can outspeed many Pokemon moves, it cannot outspeed a move like Zippy Zap, which has +2 priority. Fake Out, however, has +3 priority, meaning it will even go before Zippy Zap. We don't have access to catch our own Pokemon with Fake Out yet, so how do we defeat this trainer without risking taking damage? The answer is in one of the new species of Pokemon we just caught, Sandshrew. This shrew-like Pokemon learns Protect at level 24, which has +4 priority. Since Fake Out only works on the first turn that the user is in battle, all we would have to do is use Protect on the first turn, avoid taking damage from Fake Out, and then take out the Meowth in one hit with another move. So, I trained up Sandshrew to level 22, delayed its evolution by pressing the B button, taught it Protect at level 24, and then evolved it. At this point, we were ready for the battle. We started off by using Protect to not take Fake Out damage, and used Dig to avoid Meowth's next move and take it out in the next turn. We had finally beaten the 4th trainer on Nugget Bridge. Thankfully, the final trainer and the Rocket Grunt at the end of the bridge were pretty easy to defeat. We received a Charmander from some guy we've never met, and made our way to Route 25. After defeating the required trainers on that route, we reached Bill's house. The complete stranger looked like a monster, but I didn't want to comment on his appearance, as that would be rude. He asked me to separate his cells with a machine that I'd never seen before, and expected me to flawlessly execute his plan, despite having no idea how to operate a teleporter. Luckily, using superior intuition, I broke the laws of conservation of mass, and the true blue Pokemon fanatic came out unscathed. He gave me 2 tickets for the SSN for my trouble, and I went on my way. I went down Route 5 to get to the underground path when I was stopped by my rival. He talked to me, then approached me closely as the screen faded to black. Turns out, a revive was stuck in my hair for some reason, and my rival gave me 2 more to complete the set. I was forced to give him one of my SS tickets in return for his kind deed, but I don't really think a luxury cruise liner trip is equivalent to 3 revives. Anyway, the underground path is great for farming money, as many hidden items like pearls, big pearls, and nuggets respawn daily there. So I returned to this path throughout the run to farm some quick money. caught some new Pokemon on Route 6, caught the hidden rare candy for convenience, and battled the required trainer there. When I got to Vermilion City, I got the free Squirtle from Officer Ginny, then went to Diglett's Cave. Even though a construction worker was blocking the path, Diglets could still spawn in the little area that I was confined in, so I got a couple Diglett. I returned to Vermilion City, where another NPC offered me a Persian if I managed to catch 5 Growlithe. I did as he requested and received the free Pokemon, which has pretty good attack and speed stats. However, I really wanted the Persian because it had access to the move Fake Out. Like I described earlier, Fake Out has increased priority, but it also has a 100% chance to make its target flinch. This means that the target Pokemon cannot attack our Pokemon on the turn it is hit by Fake Out. So, theoretically, in a 2 vs 1 battle, we could get 4 attacks off on one Pokemon before it even gets the chance to hit our Pokemon. The only downside to this strategy is that we would rarely be able to do this more than once per battle, as Fake Out only works on the turn immediately after the Pokemon is sent out. Regardless, it will still be good to have Persian on the team. I wanted to level up Persian a bit to prepare it for battle, so I decided to repeatedly catch more Growlithe to gain both experience and Mighty Candy. When you catch a Pokemon, it has a chance to drop a specific type of candy corresponding to one of its strongest base stats. You can then feed these candies to one of your Pokemon, slowly boosting their stats. Since our Pokemon's health, defense, and special defense don't matter in a no damage run, I decided to focus on collecting Mighty, Smart, or Quick Candy when grinding for experience, which boost attack, special attack, and speed stats respectively. This would decrease the amount of grinding that I would have to do overall, as I could farm experience and candy at the same time, and then use the extra candy I got to strengthen specific stats even more. While doing this, I put Diglett in the daycare, so it could gain some extra experience too. After strengthening the team up, I felt ready to take on the SSN. I showed the guard my ticket, boarded the ship, and met up with my rival in blue. Damage didn't really feel like battling downstairs, but once we moved up a floor, he was ready to go. Since both his Pidgeotto and Eevee had quick attack, we outsped them with Pikachu's Zippy Zap and had Pikachu and Pidgeot work together to defeat his Oddish. After we gave the captain a massage, he taught Pikachu his renowned deforestation techniques and sailed away without us. We clothed Pikachu with a sailor outfit to prepare him for the upcoming gym and enter the building. While digging through the trash cans in the gym, we battled some of the trainers there. We tested out the aforementioned Fake Out strategy and succeeded in defeating our opponents. I deactivated the gym's barriers and exited the gym to do a bit more grinding. I went to Diglett's Cave this time to train on Diglett, which gave us even more Mighty Candy. After feeding a large amount of candy to my Pokemon, I was ready to beat Lieutenant Surge. I started the fight in a single battle format, with my Pikachu against Surge's Voltorb. Right off the bat, Pikachu took out Voltorb with Double Kick, as its attack stat was exceptionally higher than Voltorb's defense stat. Magnemite was simple too, as Double Kick also easily took it out. Lastly, Surge sent out his Raichu. It was Raichu against Pikachu, a battle to see which stage in the evolution line was stronger. Well, not quite. I activated the second controller in the middle of the battle to change the 1-on-1 battle format to the 2-on-1 battle format. Since it was Persian's first turn in battle, it was able to use Fake Out immediately, dealing a solid amount of damage. Even though the Raichu knew Quick Attack, I knew that it wouldn't be able to outspeed Pikachu, since Fake Out would prevent it from attacking. So, I had Pikachu finish it off with Double Kick, and the fight was over. When we exited the gym, we met up with Misty, who restored all of our Pokemon's HP that we never lost. She took us back to Diglett's Cave, which we could now travel through to go back to previous areas. We met up with Professor Oak's assistant on the other side of the cave, and he taught Pikachu how to turn on lights. With this secret technique, we would now be able to easily traverse Rock Tunnel. To get there, however, we had to pass through Route 9. Luckily, there were only 2 required battles on that route, and both of those battles were pretty easy to win. We moved on to Route 10 and were stopped by 4 Team Rocket Grunts eager to fight. Thankfully, Lorelei conveniently appeared out of nowhere and took on 3 out of the 4, so I only had to battle 1 grunt. All he had was Eradicate, so we easily defeated it with a single Fake Out from Persian. We entered Rock Tunnel, had Pikachu use Light Up, and began to navigate the area. I caught some new Pokemon and battled the first required trainer in the tunnel. All he had was a Slowpoke, which was simple to beat. The next trainer was another Pokemaniac, but he had a Kangaskhan with Fake Out. However, since our Persian had a higher speed stat, he used Fake Out first, preventing the Kangaskhan from using its own fake out and allowing Pikachu to finish it off with a double kick. We caught a Kangaskhan of our own right after that battle, as it could come in handy later on. I battled a couple more trainers in the cave, including some optional trainers, but with the proper moves, they all weren't too hard to beat. Finally, we found the light at the end of the tunnel and arrived on the other side of Route 10. After defeating one more easy optional trainer, I finally arrived in Lavender Town. Before doing the required story progression in Pokemon Tower, I decided to go through Route 8 first. To get from Route 8 to Celadon City, you only need to battle one trainer with a single Clefairy, so we did so and reached our destination. While in the city, we stopped to get some snacks from Brock, some drinks from the department store's vending machine, and some TMs from the clerks. We gave a lemonade to a girl in exchange for the TM Protect, and the tea to a guard in exchange for passage to Saffron City. From Saffron City, we went back to Route 5 to pick up Diglett from the daycare, and added Kangaskhan to the team as well. Even though these Pokemon were at a much lower level than my other team members, I felt like it was worth it to revise my team, as I had thought of a great new strategy that I wanted to implement in this run. I returned to Rock Tunnel to level up the new team members a bit more and to catch another Kangaskhan for the team. While navigating the tunnel, I accidentally ran into an optional Ace trainer, but this time I was prepared. All that I needed to beat this trainer was my Persian and my 2 Kangaskhan. I started out by having Persian use Fake Out and having Kangaskhan number 1 switch out to Kangaskhan number 2. Persian's Fake Out causes Diglett to faint, so the trainer sent out his Flareon. Remember how I said earlier that Fake Out only works the turn immediately after the Pokemon is sent out? Well, despite this being the second turn of the battle, this is Kangaskhan number 2's first turn to attack. So, I had Kangaskhan number 2 use Fake Out to cause the Flareon to flinch, and I had Persian switch out to Kangaskhan number 1 with U-turn. Now, even though this is not Kangaskhan number 1's first turn in battle, the action of switching it out refreshes its ability to use Fake Out. So, I had Persian come back out again, while Kangaskhan number 1 used Fake Out, preventing the Flareon from attacking either one of my Pokemon. I repeated the strategy one more time to finish off the Flareon, and won the battle with ease. Essentially, this strategy creates a loop where I can constantly deal damage to the opponent's Pokemon, but since they flinch 100% of the time due to Fake Out, they are never able to hit my Pokemon. This strategy isn't flawless, but it is extremely useful in a no damage challenge, as I don't have to manually do damage and speed calculations before every battle. I'll get into the specific flaws of this strategy later though. I bought some lures from the clerk in Lavender Town's Pokemart to attract more Pokemon to catch, which would decrease the time that I would spend grinding. To enter the tunnel from Lavender Town though, I had to battle Camper Trent, who I easily defeated with the Fake Out strategy. I started off by continuing my catch combo with Kangaskhan, but quickly scrapped that idea, as Kangaskhan were pretty rare to encounter in the cave and relatively difficult to catch. So, I decided to form a catch combo with Machop, as they gave a decent amount of experience per catch, weren't too hard to find, and gave additional Mighty Candy when captured. An additional plus about grinding in Rock Tunnel is that there's a man who replenishes your Pokeball supply whenever you run low, so we took advantage of that to save some money. There were some optional trainers that I would have to constantly avoid to reach him though, so I ended up battling them for convenience. After about an hour and a half of training up my team, I was ready to make some more progress. I met up with my rival, who thought it would be a good idea to have a fight in a haunted graveyard, so we began a battle. He only had Pidgeotto, Gloom, and Jolteon, all of which could be hit by Fake Out, so that's what we used. He stood no chance against our new strategy, and we easily beat his team. We climbed up to the next floor of the tower and encountered a ghost, which my rival promptly ran away from since he's a psychic type. After leaving the tower, we witnessed Jesse and James successfully capture a Pokemon for once, and decided to follow them to Celadon City. After arriving in the city, I decided to battle the Grass-type gym. This gym requires the trainer to have a cute Pokemon in their party to enter the gym, so I showed the trainer a Jigglypuff and went on my way. I made my way through the maze, battling trainers and killing plants, until I finally reached Erica. I ended up giving my Pokemon with Fake Out nicknames too, so it would be easier to distinguish them. I revised the Fake Out strategy a little bit from the first time that I revealed it. Firstly, I started the match in a single battle format, and then transitioned to a 2-on-1 format after using the first attack. This doesn't change the strategy in any way, but I think it saves a bit more time, as you don't have to switch a Pokemon out on the first turn. Additionally, I decided to not have Persian use U-turn to switch out. That could be a bit risky. If the opposing Pokemon faints from Kangaskhan's Fake Out, U-turn would not hit anything, so Persian would consequently not switch out. This means that I would not be able to use Fake Out with either of my Pokemon on the next turn, preventing the strategy from working. The battle was going smoothly up until the last Pokemon. I got distracted, and despite me giving the Pokemon nicknames, I forgot which Pokemon was supposed to use Fake Out for that turn. I took a guess and picked Kangaskhan to use Fake Out, but I was incorrect and the move failed. Luckily, I did some calculations before attacking and confirmed that a slash from Persian would take out the Weepinbell, so I still won the battle. I knew that I could not afford to make this kind of mistake in future battles, so this slip-up reminded me to focus more on the battles to come. After leaving the gym, I made my way to the Celadon game corner. I talked to a man protecting a piece of paper and easily defeated his Raticate in a Pokemon battle. I pressed a switch behind the poster, exposing the rocket hideout, and ventured into it. The team of Fake Out users easily swept through the base, and eventually we met up with Jesse and James again. They were apparently still angry that we stole that dead Pokemon from Mount Moon before they could, so we had to face off against them in another double battle. I decided to use my Dugtrio and Pidgeot to combat their Weezing and Arbok. I had my Dugtrio use Earthquake, a multi-target move, in order to hit all of the Pokemon on the field at once. While the Poison-type Pokemon took super effective damage and fainted from Earthquake, my Flying-type Pokemon took no damage, as it is immune to Ground-type moves. After Pikachu cleared our path by jumping up and down 2 times, we encountered Archer, who I once again swept with the Fake Out strategy. I wanted to heal up the power points on Fake Out before I battled Giovanni though, so I took the elevator up to the basement's 2nd floor and battled the Grunt guarding the door. I defeated his Zubat with 1 Fake Out, but then arose the first issue with the Fake Out strategy: Ghost-type Pokemon. Ghost-types are immune to Normal-type damaging moves, so the Normal-type move Fake Out will unfortunately not work on the Ghost-type Pokemon in this game, those Pokemon being Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, and Alolan Marowak. A Ghastly at this point in the game could also have Sucker Punch, a priority move, meaning we would have to use a move with at least +1 priority to ensure we outspeed the Ghost-type. Quick Attack or Feint wouldn't affect it, and at this point in the game, we couldn't catch Pokemon with Aqua Jet or Ice Shard. Additionally, if we tried to use Sucker Punch ourselves, it might fail, as Ghastly can also learn status moves that chip away at a Pokemon's health, namely Toxic and Will-O-Wisp. So, what did we do against these dangerous Ghost-type Pokemon? Well, in Let's Go Eevee, we would have to risk taking damage, as we either use a non-priority move and possibly get hit by Sucker Punch, or use Sucker Punch and possibly take chip damage from Toxic or Will-O-Wisp. Luckily, we are playing Let's Go Pikachu, so we have an additional priority move exclusive to this version of the game, Zippy Zap. The Electric type +2 priority move completely counters Ghastly and its moves, and due to Ghastly's frail defense stat, we were able to easily defeat it in 1 hit. We moved on, refreshed the power points on Fake Out, and then returned to battle Giovanni. His Persian had Fake Out itself, but our Pokemon took it out before it got the chance to use it. We slowly and safely finished off Rhyhorn and beat Giovanni for the first time. He gave us a Silph Scope as a reward for knocking out his Pokemon, and we went on our way. When I exited the game corner, I met an inventor standing next to a steering wheel with balloons attached to it. He claimed that the vehicle allowed him to fly, so I'm not quite sure he understands aerodynamics very well. He offered his prize machine to me, the stranger that he just met, and I graciously accepted it. The secret technique Skydash allows us to easily return to cities and towns that we've already traveled to, making the process of farming money and useful hidden items scattered throughout the region a lot faster. Anyway, I quickly returned to Lavender Town using Skydash and began to navigate Pokemon Tower. The tower is filled with channelers that all have Ghost-type Pokemon, so we once again used Pikachu's Zippy Zap to defeat the required trainers. After Cubone's mother was calmed, we climbed up to the 7th floor to talk to Mr. Fuji. We had to battle Jesse and James again, so we just used Dugtrio and Pidgeot like the last time. We returned to the Pokemon house with Mr. Fuji, who gave us a musical instrument as a thanks for helping him out in the tower. We played the polka flute for the Snorlax on Route 16, who awoke and mistook us for food. Catching static Pokemon in this game is a bit more complicated than the way that we have previously caught wild Pokemon. In order to move on to the catching sequence, you first have to knock out the Pokemon within a 5-minute window. After that, you can then proceed to catch the Pokemon normally. So, we used Fake Out to whittle down Snorlax's health and caught it in an Ultra Ball. With Snorlax out of the way, we caught a Doduo, battled Camper Ruben's 2 Psyduck, and ventured on to Route 17. This route was called Cycling Road in the original games, but has since changed to Pokemon Road, as you cannot get a bicycle in these remakes. Both Route 17 and Route 18 have no required trainer battles, so we caught some new Pokemon, picked up some useful items, and made our way to Fuchsia City. After Pikachu had fun playing with all of the Pokemon outside the Go Park complex, we talked to a surfer standing next to his Lapras. He taught Pikachu how to ride a surfboard and gave us his board as a gift. We also went to the Pokemon Center to visit the move tutor, who had another exclusive move for Pikachu to learn, Splishy Splash. We taught Pikachu the water-type move for the future and walked down to Route 19. Team Rocket, who were there for plot convenience, gave us the gold teeth that they randomly found on the beach. We gave the dentures to the warden, who in return taught Pikachu Strong Push using the random boulders he kept in his house. This secret technique is actually pretty useful for farming money though, as once a day we could move the boulder in the warden's house to receive a nugget from a Diglett. So, we got the extra nugget, left the house, and entered Fuchsia City's gym. To challenge this gym, the player must have at least 50 different species of Pokemon registered in their Pokedex. We had 56 at the time, so we were permitted to battle the trainers there. We carefully made our way through the gym's maze, battled the one required trainer in the gym, and reached the gym leader. All of Koga's Pokemon know the move Protect, which frightened me a little, as this move acts before Fake Out to protect the user from attacks on that turn. Since Koga has 4 Pokemon and Protect has 10 PP, he consequently has 40 turns to use Fake Out. On the other hand, even after using the PP ups I currently had on my 3 Fake Out users, I only had 38 turns to use Fake Out. This means that Koga had the possibility to stall my team with Protect, whittle down the power points on Fake Out, and force me to use another move. The chance of Protect working 40 times in a row are astronomically low, but since Fake Out has only 40 base power and my Pokemon were not over leveled anymore, his Pokemon could tank a couple Fake Outs, allowing Koga to potentially space out his Protects and have a higher chance at foiling my strategy. This was the second issue of the Fake Out strategy that I hinted at earlier, running out of PP on the move. So, what could I do to ensure a victory in this battle? The answer is to increase the total amount of Fake Out PP I had on my team, and the most effective way to do that was to put 3 more Kangaskhan in my party. Doing this would not only help me out in battle, but also would lessen my trips to the Pokemon Center, as I would essentially double the amount of Fake Out PP I had. I already had 3 extra Kangaskhan in my Pokemon box, but one of them had a hindering attack nature, so I caught 1 more Kangaskhan with a boosting attack nature to complete my team. I repeatedly caught Doduo on Route 16 to level up my 2 team members and farm Mighty Candy, making my team a lot stronger. After that, I gave my other Kangaskhan some nicknames and took a slight detour to go to Route 11. After beating 1 trainer on the route, I entered the building connecting Route 11 to Route 12 and talked to Professor Oak's assistant on the 2nd floor. He gave me the judge function for my Pokemon box, which allowed me to view a Pokemon's IVs, or individual values. This feature allows me to compare Pokemon of the same species to determine which one has the highest potential to help me out in the run. It's not the most necessary component for this challenge, but it might be useful in the future. I finally returned to the gym, and with extra Fake Out PP and a strengthened team, Koga didn't worry me anymore. While he did stall a little bit, my team was able to defeat all of his Pokemon, and the Soul Badge was ours. I decided to skip Sabrina's gym for now, and challenge Blaine's gym first. I flew back to Pallet Town and started to surf across the water to get to Route 21. I avoided all of the trainers on the water by hugging the left side of the route, and eventually reached Cinnabar Island. For some reason, Blaine locked his gym's doors and left his key in the basement of a Pokemon-infested mansion, so we had to venture into the mansion to retrieve it. While there, we caught some new Pokemon, battled a required trainer, and found the key to the gym. We entered the gym and took part in Blaine's game show. We answered all of his questions correctly, sparing us from battling the gym's trainers, and began the match with Blaine. He had nothing to protect him from the Fake Out strategy, so we swept his team and earned the Volcano Badge. After leaving the gym, a rival told us to go to Viridian City to get the 8th gym badge. So, we ignored his advice and went to Saffron City to get the 6th gym badge. Before I could battle the gym though, I had to complete the required storyline in Silph Co. Jesse and James cleared the entrance of the corporation's front door, so I followed them inside. Blue and Damage weren't far behind, and together we formed a plan to stop Team Rocket's evil doing. However, Blue wanted to waste some time, so he challenged us to a Pokemon battle. We mopped the floor with Blue, and got ready to do the exact same thing to Team Rocket. If only it were that simple. The next required battle in Silph Co was on the 5th floor, but it had an extremely dangerous gimmick. It was a team-up battle. We had to battle alongside our rival to defeat a Team Rocket Grunt and a Team Rocket Admin Archer in double battle format. Now, this would be fine if it weren't for a couple things. 1. We cannot control our rival's actions, as he is set with 4 lower-leveled Pokemon that won't one-hit our opponents, and his moves are chosen by AI instead of us, so we have to hope for the best and plan for the worst. You may be thinking, well, that's not that bad, as we could just use a Pokemon with the multi-target move to one-hit all of the Pokemon on the field. And you would be right, but that doesn't protect us from being outsped by a priority move. All of the multi-target damaging moves in this game have +0 priority, so if we use a move like Surf or Swift, we risk getting outsped by a move with +1 or more priority. And as luck would have it, the Grunt's second Pokemon is Eradicate, which has both Quick Attack and Sucker Punch. Great. So, if the Eradicate gets sent out into battle, the battle's outcome is up to chance. We either outspeed the Eradicate with a priority move and risk getting hit by one of Archer's Pokemon, take out all of the Pokemon on the field with a multi-target move and risk getting outsped by Eradicate, or spam Protect and hope that the rival's Pokemon can take out one of the foes on its own. But, what if the Eradicate didn't come into battle right away? The Grunt's first Pokemon is a Muck, which only has Protect, Minimize, Screech, and Toxic. The first 3 moves don't deal any damage, and the last move doesn't affect Poison or Steel types. So, if we keep Muck alive and knock out all of Archer's Pokemon first, the battle transitions into a 2-on-1 battle. Then, we could easily knock out Muck and outspeed Eradicate with a priority move. Sounds foolproof, right? Well, almost. If our rival's Pokemon takes out Muck before we take out Archer's last Pokemon, then the battle remains in the 2-on-2 format, once again leaving the match's results up to fate. While we can't control everything that happens in the battle, we can maximize the probability of success. By using Haunter, we gain immunity to many moves from the Grunt's Pokemon. Haunter's poison typing allows it to avoid taking damage from Muck's Toxic, allowing us to safely target Archer's Pokemon. Additionally, its Ghost typing allows it to avoid taking damage from Eradicate's Quick Attack, forcing Eradicate to use Sucker Punch if it wants to attack us. So, we went back to Pokemon Tower to catch a Ghastly with good IVs, as we have the Judge function now, and we might as well get the best Haunter we could find for this crucial battle. After catching a bunch of Ghastly, I settled with training up this one. Its IVs in Attack, Special Attack, and Speed were all maxed out, and its only problem was its hindering attack nature. Since we'd be taking advantage of Haunter's amazing special attack for the majority of the battle, I figured this small flaw wouldn't matter much. Ghastly already knew Sucker Punch for priority and Shadow Ball for stab, so I taught it Protect for safety and Psychic, which I got from Mr. Psychic in Saffron City, for super effective damage against poison types. Before I began the battle, I needed to increase my Pokemon's stats so it could one-hit the Pokemon it would go up against. I caught a bunch of Electabuzz in the power plant to farm Quick Candy, then made my way to the Pokemon Mansion to farm Smart Candy with Magmar. This would be enough to win the battle, but I wanted to make a backup plan if the fight did not go the way I wanted it to go. I figured it would be better to spend an extra hour preparing for the battle's worst outcome than going into the battle now with a higher chance at starting the entire game over. 27 hours of progress down the drain. First, I started a catch combo with Doduo again to farm a ton of Mighty Candy to feed to Haunter. Haunter's attack stat is trash, so if the worst came to worst and I had to use Sucker Punch to one-hit a full health, max defense level 34 Eradicate, Haunter's attack stat would have to be boosted by a lot. And I mean a lot. I'm still not exactly sure how awakening values or the artificially boosted stats from candies in the Let's Go games are incorporated into damage calculation, so while the attack stat now might be a bit excessive, it was high enough to where I was confident that a Sucker Punch could definitely knock out Eradicate if need be. Lastly, I wanted to raise Haunter's Friendship to level 4, as this would give it an additional perk in battle. Even if a move is stated to be 100% accurate, a Pokemon with a Friendship level that is at least level 4 out of 5 has a chance to dodge that move. So, if worst came to worst, and the opponent's Pokemon targets me, with a 100% accurate damaging move, I would still have a chance to avoid taking damage from it. After interacting with Haunter for quite some time, I battled an optional trainer with a Nidorino to check Haunter's friendship level. If a Pokemon with a friendship level 4 and above uses a super effective move on another Pokemon, dialogue pops up on the screen saying, "That's it, I knew you could do it." So, by taking out Nidorino with Haunter's Psychic, I was able to see if the dialogue popped up, and sure enough, it did. I was nervous, but I had done all that I could to prepare for the upcoming battle. I returned to Silph Co, arrived at the 5th floor, and started the match. The battle started off great. Muck began by using Protect, which was great for me, as it prevented Cubone from taking it out too early, yet didn't prevent me from taking out Archer's Electrode. Archer then sent out Golbat, which I again took out easily. This time, however, Muck used Toxic on my rival's Cubone, allowing Cubone to whittle half of Muck's health down with Bone Meringue. All I had to do now was take out Archer's Weezing quickly before Cubone landed another Bone Meringue on Muck. Unfortunately, Weezing used Protect the very next turn, causing Psychic to not make contact with its target. While Muck used Minimize to increase its evasion, Cubone was still able to hit it with Bone Meringue, causing Muck to faint and Eradicate to get sent out. This was not good, as it was the exact scenario that I had been hoping to avoid. I had my Haunter use Protect to stall for one turn, but I knew that the battle was now up to fate. Cubone dealt some damage to Eradicate, but not enough to take it out. At this point, I was losing hope in my chances of success. My best play was to use Sucker Punch on Eradicate and hope that the Weezing doesn't hit us, around a 66% chance. While this is a 2/3 chance to succeed, this is also a 1/3 chance to fail and lose 28 hours of progress. Here's what happened.
Okay, well, I expected to... Okay, alright. We can Sucker Punch Eradicate and hope that Weezing uses Protect. Use Protect. Used a Hyper Potion. It didn't use Protect, darn it. Darn it. Good. Yes. Yes. Oh, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, jeez.
That was by far the hardest battle of the entire game. Luck was definitely on our side in that fight, so I was understandably pretty happy with the results. The rest of Silph Co was a piece of cake. We encountered Jesse and James again, but this time we used Haunter and Persian to fight against them. Arbok went down to a single fake out from Persian, and Weezing was knocked out by Haunter's Psychic. Finally, we reached the battle with Giovanni, where we once again used the fake out strategy to secure another victory. Our next objective was to beat Sabrina in a battle in order to get our second to last gym badge. We needed to show the guard a level 45 Pokemon in order to challenge the gym, so luckily our level 74 Persian did the trick. We avoided all of the gym's trainers and approached the battle with Sabrina. While some of the gym's trainers had Ghost-type Pokemon in their party, Sabrina did not, allowing us to effortlessly knock out all of her Pokemon with Fake Out and receive the Marsh Badge. Before I went to Viridian City to battle the 8th gym leader, I took a detour to travel around the region to collect some more useful items. This time, however, I focused on looking for Ethers, Elixirs, Max Ethers, and Max Elixirs. Once we enter the first Elite Four members' room, we have to battle 5 strong trainers in a row, without access to the Pokemon Center. This means that the only method of refreshing the power points on our Pokemon's moves at this time is through using Ethers and Elixirs. Since we've mainly been using Fake Out for the majority of this challenge, it wouldn't hurt to stock up on items that increase the amount of times we can use it. We definitely don't want to be stuck with 0 PP on our signature move. After stocking up on those items, we finally arrived at the Viridian City Gym. We discovered that the door had been mysteriously locked, and for some reason concluded that Professor Oak might know the answer to the mystery. We went back to his lab to ask him, although we never actually ended up doing what we came there for, as we got distracted by shiny stones. Conveniently, the gym leader returned immediately after we left the building, so we were able to return to Viridian City and enter the gym. The ground-type Pokemon trainers guarding the gym leader were simple to beat with Fake Out, allowing us to discover that the elusive Viridian City gym leader was Giovanni. Like all the other battles we've had with him though, we just found Fake Out to beat him. We received the Earth Badge, slapped Pikachu's tail for the last time, and exited the gym. With 8 gym badges in our inventory, we could finally make our way to Victory Road. Before we could get there though, our rival stopped us on Route 22 and demanded that we fight in a Pokemon battle. Like the many other trainers that we'd defeated before him, Damage was unable to get around the Fake Out strategy, allowing for an easy sweep. After determining that we had all of the region's gym badges, the guards let us enter Victory Road. Most of the trainer battles in Victory Road are optional, as there are only 4 fights that need to be completed in order to get to the cave's exit. Since none of those trainers had Pokemon that were immune to normal-type moves, we once again used the Fake Out strategy and cleared our way to Indigo Plateau. After all of these hours, we had reached the ultimate challenge. Since we were so close to the finish line, I decided to do a little more grinding to make the final 5 battles ahead a lot easier. I started a catch combo with Machoke, as they gave a lot of experience due to their high levels and a lot of Mighty Candy due to their high attack stat. After increasing my Pokemon stats a bit, I finally felt prepared for the battles ahead. So, I entered the Pokemon League and began the first battle with Lorelei. While her Dugong had Aqua Jet and Ice Shard as priority moves, she didn't have anything to outspeed Fake Out, so the Fake Out strategy was able to defeat Lorelei's team. Next up was Bruno, who leads with his Onix. Onix has a ridiculously high defense stat and is resistant to normal type moves, so Fake Out wouldn't be able to do too much to Onix. While enough Fake Out would eventually knock out the Onix, we would lose a lot of power points on the move, which I didn't really want to do. So, I decided to lead with my Pikachu instead. Sending in an electric type to fight a ground type is not usually a good idea, but it actually proves to be beneficial in this case. Since this is the partner Pikachu, it gets access to some exclusive moves, one of them being Splishy Splash, a 90 power water type move. And while Onix has an amazing defense stat and is immune to electric type moves, it also has a terrible special defense stat and is 4 times weak to water type moves. So, by using Pikachu's Splishy Splash to combat the Onix instead of Fake Out, we could knock out the Onix easily in one shot. The rest of Bruno's team consisted of fighting types, so we were able to easily defeat his 4 other Pokemon with the Fake Out strategy. For our third battle, we had to fight against Agatha, who's known for Ghost-type Pokemon. While we couldn't use Fake Out against her Gengar, we had another strategy in mind involving Haunter and Pikachu. Haunter had Psychic to deal hefty damage to all of her Pokemon, as despite Agatha's reputation in battling with Ghost types, all of her Pokemon in this battle have the Poison typing, which Psychic is super effective against. Additionally, Haunter works well with Pikachu, which I used to outspeed anything on the field with Zippy Zap. If Zippy Zap's raw power couldn't defeat one of Agatha's Pokemon, Haunter's Psychic was sure to do the trick. Zippy Zap was also especially important against Agatha's Golbat, as her Golbat knew Quick Attack. Since Zippy Zap has a higher priority than Quick Attack, and is super effective against Golbat, we took out Golbat before it got the chance to hit us. And with that, the third battle was finished. Like Lorelei, Lance was another easy trainer to defeat, as we just used the Fake Out strategy to beat him. At this point, we had beaten the Elite Four without taking any damage, but there was still one trainer left to beat, our rival, the new champion of the Kanto region. We met Damage on the battlefield, ready to take him on in an intense, nerve-wracking battle. Not really. We just used the same Fake Out strategy we've been using this whole challenge. Kind of an anticlimactic ending, but hey, if it ain't broke. And that's how Let's Go Pikachu can be beaten, without ever taking damage. While this challenge was definitely stressful at times, I had a lot of fun strategizing for each battle, and will probably end up continuing the Damageless challenge in Let's Go Pikachu's postgame. If you enjoyed the challenge and would like to see more, consider checking out my channel on Twitch. I've been streaming Pokemon challenge runs and shiny hunts there, so if you want to watch those live, that's the place to go. I may also post more videos here in the future, so subscribe if you'd like to. Otherwise, Thanks for watching!